Okay. All right. So, hold on. Okay. It's been a day. It's definitely been a day. Oh, man. I got a freaking... That is it. Right here. I haven't been taking care of my skin. There. I haven't been taking care of my skin, so I'm having all these, like, eruptions. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. So I figured I would do a really quick update. I deleted it. Hold on. I'm gonna get my shit together. Hold on. Okay, this right here. This right here. Okay, there we go. Let me just pin this. All right, so I wanted to do a quick update. So many of you guys have been so supportive with all of the stuff going on in the background. For me personally, you guys have been so ridiculously supportive, not just with the monetary gifts, but also especially with sharing, just basically getting more support for my brother wherever it is you guys are sharing. We have reached, I believe, like the 90% mark. I believe it was like 90% of the goal, the $25,000 goal. We've reached 90%. That's fucking huge. That's huge. That is helping so much. You guys have no idea. So, because you guys have taken us into your heart and have really, really shown us love like family, I wanted to share an update. You guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? Yesterday, we went to his first post-hospital checkup for his heart failure clinic. His heart function went from about 10%, less than 10%, to just about 20%. So healing, I mean, that's still very low. He's still pretty much weak. He's slowly getting his, stamina back. He can stand for about 10-15 minutes before he feels like passing out. You're not going to keep him still. You're just not. He's really trying his hardest to kind of just be as mellow as possible and just sit around all day. He's used to being so busy, like all the time, constantly traveling with his team, constantly supporting his team. Yeah, I gotta share this. I don't know if you want me to share this, but I gotta share it anyways. He's totally the kind of person where if he's dedicated to you, he's dedicated to you. One of his larger clients slash friends, they're basically friends, was needing some body work. He was gonna force it yesterday. I was like, I don't think you should do that. He was gonna force it. He was gonna try and go back to work to support his team, and I was just like, I can't tell you what to do, but you're gonna pay for it tomorrow. And it's just one of those things. It's like he's going through so much already, but he's still worried about, I need to hurry up and get better so I can go and support my team and like be there for my guys, because they really count on him to fix them. His clients are like top of the top combat sports athletes. These are people who they need sport recovery and they count on him. And so I'm just trying to remind him, you're more important right now. If you wait just a little bit, you'll get a lot better. You'll be able to really, really be there for your clients. So yeah, almost doubled. Almost doubled his heart function. But again, he still needs a lot of rest, a lot of rest. We've been really just working on medication, making sure the dosages are just right. They have me changing his IV bags all by myself at this point. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, but definitely That's a huge responsibility. And that it's a cannula like threaded from his arm all the way into his heart. I'm like, please don't move. Yeah. Um, Definitely an experience we're having together. Definitely. And knowing that you guys are supportive, knowing that all of you care so deeply, you guys are all rooting for him, it makes a huge difference. So now that I've had my update, his heart function has gone up to close to 20. Um, I'm now doing all of his meds myself. The nurse comes once a week, just to see and make sure I didn't fuck anything up, which I haven't. And yeah, I'm working really closely with his cardiac team to just fine tune his medications. Like, y'all don't even know how I check his vitals often, down to where I am tracking his urine output. So yeah, no, I think I would have made a phenomenal cardiac doctor. But you know, that I don't feel I'm supposed to be part of that industry. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. And it's just a nice little experience to be able to know that I'm helping him tremendously with just encouragement. You know, knowing you're supported, that's huge. That's huge. So many people in this world, they suffer through so much, not necessarily because this or that. It's more because they feel like they have no support. That's how society is structured now. Your problem is yours, and that's just it's not. You know, I want to tell you guys, I have been toying around with this idea for a long time. Oh my God, he's climbing up. Another animal is trying to climb up the freaking walkway thingy that leads down to the dock. You guys, you guys. I just have had this idea for such a long time of starting a 501c3. That's a nonprofit organization. Basically, the way my company is structured, like right now, my actual LLC, it's a for-profit LLC, but I run it like a nonprofit. I just pretty much give everything away. And then I pay taxes on what I've given away. So I'm just totally like, you know, this whole time I've been thinking about how I am very lucky. I have you guys. You guys have been so amazing and so supportive. What about the people who don't have you guys? They don't have a platform. They don't have a voice. They're not recognized. They're not heard. They're not seen. None of that. What about them? What happens to them? So, I mean, I don't know where this is going to lead, but I'm totally feeling like it's just time to really look into that 501c3, creating a team that's really focused on helping people. I don't really know. There's just so many different things the world needs right now. I don't know if we go ahead and try and help with healthcare expenses, if we try and do child advocacy, if we try and, you know, try and support families who've suffered through domestic issues, violence, abuse, whatever it is. Like, where do you start? Where do you start? And I think that's kind of what's kept me from actually jumping into it. Like, where would I start? I don't know. I don't know. But I assume at some point it'll become very, very clear. I know at some point I do all of that. I know that. That's a part of my destiny. I've known that for quite some time. And that's part of why I need to be very visible, very present. But how do I get from right here to all the way over there? I don't know how to do that yet. I think it will make itself known eventually. So this is a fishy talk. A fish talk. Okay. What do you guys want to ask? What do you want to ask? As seen through the eyes of a Piscean. What do you guys want to ask? Mental stress is huge. Yes, mental stress is a huge factor in how you approach the world, how you solve your struggles. You want to talk about quantum leaping? What do you mean? Like the show? I'm just messing around. I know, not like the show, but what about quantum leaping? Like quantum leaps within your own personal ascension? Oh. Every time I don't want love, I get pulled into it. How can I finesse this? I don't want love. Why don't you want love? I always find that whatever happens outside of you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. You okay? Whatever happens outside of you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So maybe this whole like love keeps trying to find its way in is your higher self trying to find a way to connect with your conscious mind. It might be that. You leaping from there to 5. Yes, it would need to be a quantum. I know part of my purpose has to do with soul sanctuaries. I'm not the only soul that's been brought here to do that. It's to be a global thing. And wow, that's a statement. 66% at 636. That's definitely a bold ass statement. Okay, so part of my destiny is to create soul sanctuaries. These are places where food is grown and they're cooked in a special way where you can charge the molecular structure of the food to create healing outside as well as inside the body. People will know how to work my system, the Coco 33 system. They will be advanced practitioners of this. And those who come who have specific needs, whether they're physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, energetic, their needs are taken care of regardless of what they can afford or not. These sanctuaries will have places for shelter, temporary shelter for those in acute need of housing. It will be a place where parents will learn how to properly nurture and advocate for the new children. These new children are very specific. They have very, very specific needs, and they're often misdiagnosed as combative. I forget the diagnoses of these children. It's specific ones. ADHD, the one where they're combative. Oh, my baby's watching me on his phone. But there's a lot that needs to be done to make sure that the world continues to progress in the way it's meant to progress. And I know I'm not the only one that's going to do this. I'm going to play a large role in it, but it's not just me. There's going to be a small group. It's a small group of souls that came in with the same agreement that I made. And we changed the trajectory of humanity by simply existing in our truth. No longer hiding, no longer allowing humanity to continue with this bullshit that humanity does, where money's not really a factor. Because you know what? Me and this small group, and I don't even know who they are. We become so wealthy, we fucking displace the 1%. We become the 1%. And we are the ones who don't care about money. We won't hold on to it. And money won't mean shit because we'll give it away. I'm not talking about give it away. Here's $1,000 so you can go buy whatever. No, I'm talking about we will reinvest it in the people, creating the very structures that are necessary to support humanity and a healthy transition into a new world. I'm not talking about a new world order. I'm talking about a new world within yourself, where you can actually see your value and you can see the value of your truth, of your authenticity. You don't have to hide yourself. You don't have to be ashamed about the ways you cope, your human history, all of those things. That's just like to have to be ashamed that you had to find a way to cope with the pain of your life and be ashamed that your environment failed you and you had to find a way to cope. And you should be ashamed? I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. There's just so many changes to make in this world. Exactly. It is a good place for a shaman. There will be quite a few. These are not shamans who purchase a certificate, who attend some sort of weekend retreat. I mean, those are nice and everything. Do you. If that's what resonates with you, do you. By all means, do you. But these shamans are those who were born into that title. And they've lived a life of suffering to prepare them for the honor of that service. Eventually, I'll come across the other ones. Eventually. I'm not in a rush. Eventually, all of our paths will cross because I've seen all of us on a stage. I've seen myself speaking to what looks like a stadium, and it's dark. But I know this is a huge venue. It's like a stadium. And there are chairs behind me, and there were people in those chairs. And I know each of us speak. It's crazy shit. That's crazy shit. Hey, it's time. It's definitely time to start speaking on these things, and instead of being bashful or just like, it sounds crazy to me still. It does. There's really nothing that special about me for all of this to be easily accepted by my brain. I really don't feel like there's any standout wow that would cause me to be able to grasp why it has to be me. But I guess it does. Ooh, that's beautiful. A group for children and healing trauma through expression. I'll tell you guys a little bit about trauma. So some of us are born in a traumatic way. These are where, like, the baby almost dies, the mother almost dies, baby gets very sick, just trauma, very traumatic type thing. You're separated from your mother. These are very traumatic things. And what ends up happening when you are traumatized, when you experience trauma, especially in infancy, especially in utero, because some of us even experience trauma before we're born. What ends up happening is you begin surging high frequency. This is frequency accretion, accelerated frequency accretion. This is what I refer to as trauma-induced accretion. That accreting of extremely high frequency floods your entire morphogenetic template. Why is that important? Because the pathways that would have shriveled up, atrophied, because you are coming into a lower density, are being flooded with the fuel. It's being kept alive. It's being kept viable. And so that means you have access to abilities that most human beings, their access to that goes dormant not long after birth. You're going from extremely high frequency to a lower density of body. There's a give that has to happen. That's just like uploading an HD video onto a platform that cannot support HD. It becomes pixelated. So that pixelation ends up severing your access to your soul memories, to abilities. Now, when you have a lot of trauma in life, every time you surge, it goes through all the pathways. It dilates all of those pathways, allowing energy to continue to sustain your access to those parts that would have gone dormant. Emmie, why were you able to do the things you do since you were a child? Why did you have no moment of awakening? Because I almost died at birth. I was born early. It was an emergency C-section. It was so serious, they had to do an immediate hysterectomy on my mom. That's a lot of trauma. Pair that with being born in a third world country. That's a lot of drama. So yeah, all those pathways have been left wide open. Wide open. Why is that? Is it because I'm better? No. It's because I have a purpose to serve. And that facilitates my serving of my purpose. Being able to access those things, to remember, being able to transmute my trauma from the point I was born all the way up till now, to transmute it as fuel. Giving myself permission to rise the way I was designed to. All of those things are just very important for other people to witness. Yeah, C-section babies are different. They are. I was a tiny baby. I've been precocious since birth. All of my births have been with my children have been traumatizing, like for real. Traumatizing for me personally, and I'm sure on some level it traumatized my baby as my baby was experiencing it. So one of my kids, when I was laboring with him, I was left with a nurse that was being trained, which is not a problem. Everyone has to learn, right? So she was being trained, but nobody told her to turn down the Pitocin. She left it wide open. And I went into a very aggressive labor. My placenta detached. I gave birth to him really quick, but my placenta detached, and they didn't realize this until about 30 minutes later when I was laying in a pool of my own blood from ankle to ear, because it was plastic I was laying on. I was laying in a pool of my own blood. Yeah, that was traumatic AF. Yeah, they had to wheel me into emergency surgery. At which point, when I woke up from general anesthesia, because apparently morphine doesn't do shit for me, I had burst every capillary up to like my belly, all across my chest, my arms. I had purple freckles everywhere. I had purple freckles everywhere, and I burst capillaries in my eyes. And I woke up from surgery, and I held my surgeon's face. I was like, "You're so handsome." I lied. I told him he was handsome. I told his nurse that she was beautiful. They were like, "She's out of it. Roll her into her room." But yeah, with that level of trauma, that particular child said his first word at like 3 or 4 days old. He didn't just say like mama or papa. His first word at 3 or 4 days old, Uncle Jet, which is my brother. I was like, that's fucked up. How are you gonna say Uncle Jet? You couldn't say mama? That's fucked up. I was like, that's fucked up. Why Uncle Jet? So yeah, he said his first word at 3 or 4 days old, and then I think he was 3 months old. And I had been telling people he talks. He wouldn't do it in front of anyone else. It was just me. He would talk to me, and everyone thought I was crazy until he was about 3 months old. And I hid the camera, and I had him on the changing table, and I was like singing to him. And I said, "We're going to change your diaper." And he said, "It's stinky." And you could hear it in the camera. You could hear it in the recording. He went poop. It was stinky. So yeah, the amount of trauma that you experience can definitely affect the amount of ability you can tap into. Definitely affect it. Oh, wait, what? My daughter said hi at 14 hours and they took her accusing me of hallucinating. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But I mean, there's a lot of things that people go through, and those things, they might seem bad. They might seem like indicators that you're a failure, that you're not a good person. You can't allow people who don't understand their life to dictate what's going on in yours. That would be the equivalent of having someone who doesn't have children tell you how to parent. Hey, I'm no better than someone who doesn't have a kid, but I think I have enough kid experience to not take your shit for real. Yeah, no, I get criticized sometimes by people who don't have children. And it's like, that's cute. Go mommy your dog. Your dog doesn't talk back to you using words, expressing themselves. Because my children are allowed to express themselves with me. And some people don't like that. My child would say, that's not fair. I don't like that. That's not disrespectful. Expressing yourself, being treated like an equal. is not a lack of parenting. There's a difference between expressing yourself and being disrespectful to me, and my children know I will not tolerate disrespect. But you can absolutely voice your displeasure with my decision as your parent. So there's a lot of things. I read up that ADHD was interpreted differently because they can see other energies, and their attention is pulled to that area in some circumstances. Yeah, I actually have a wicked case of ADHD, in case you guys haven't noticed. What? It's a bird? It's a fish? Yeah, no. So sometimes people might be like, oh my God, why is she freaking out because of the fish? I can feel their energy. Something's fucking hunting them. It freaks me out if they're freaked out because I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to jump over here like wild animals randomly come to me. Y'all don't. So I was at a workshop, right? We were at an outdoor garden, and my guests were kind of just sitting around. There was like a little courtyard, and we're all sitting around on the bench, just cooling off. And here comes a roadrunner. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one in person. It doesn't look like the cartoon. It looks like a miniature velociraptor. And it came in the middle of the courtyard and looked right at me. And I was like, oh, fuck no. And I got up on the bench behind one of my guests, and she was cracking up, which is fine. She can crack up. That's fine. And I was like, you don't understand. They're crazy. Animals are crazy around me. And then they kind of shoot it away, at which point it ran behind all the benches to go behind exactly where I was at. It didn't realize as it was running around to get to me from the back that I had took off running. I took off running to get something from the car. Yeah, so no. I can feel when they have intentions with me. I'm not even joking. I'm not afraid of animals who are chill. But when they're already having their issues, I've been chased by a duck a quarter mile. I don't care how benign it seems. I've had squirrels throw shit at me. Not poop, but just like they pick up pebbles and sticks and they throw it at me. And they think it's funny. I can feel it. They think it's funny. They think I'm one of them. I'm not. I'm not one of you. So yeah, no, I feel them. Oftentimes I explain ADHD as the ability to exist on a multidimensional level, meaning I'm not just here. I'm so many different places at so many different times. There's like, I don't know. I don't want to say because then it sounds like psychosis. Crazy people don't question if they're crazy. And I've questioned that I'm crazy for far too long to think that I'm crazy at this point. Far too long. To the point where I've seen medical professionals and I've told them all these things, and I've actually had medical professionals tell me, I've heard people can hear angels. I was like, oh my God, you're in on it. Yeah, sometimes animals will tell me what's wrong. Sometimes plants even talk to me. They can develop connections with people. Yeah, you'd be surprised at how sentient so many different life forms actually are. They're very, very sentient. When did you develop the discernment for your clairaudient abilities? I hear voices as well, but I can't tell if my mind is playing tricks on me sometimes. Only when I'm alone. I've just always had that. No, girl. The gray heron is supposed to be very gentle. They're supposed to also be afraid of people. Why would it stare at me from across the dock and then fly to beneath where I am? Okay, they're supposed to avoid people. Okay, I've just had quite a few different random ass things happen. I wouldn't put it past any animals to do stuff. They're just, I don't know. That's not coincidence. That's not coincidence. I knew it was different when I remember being a little kid and trying to change the weather by playing with the clouds and talking. Oddly enough, it started to rain. So I'm opposite. I don't like to get wet in the rain. Even as a Piscean, I don't like to get wet in the rain. I don't, bless you. I don't like to get wet, period. 55% is 655. So what ends up happening, it's raining outside. And as I go outside, it stops raining. I get in the car, it starts to rain. We get to the store, it stops raining. I go into the store, it starts to rain. I don't play that shit. I'm sorry. I don't play that shit. Before, I'm not allowed to talk about stuff. World ain't ready. I can definitely relate with you on that with the animals. A coyote pulled me out of my bed one time, Cam. We're in Colorado. They crazy. Animals are crazy. Y'all think they're cute, they're gentle. They are just like people. They have their own moods. Okay, they have their own moods. I'm highly sensitive to their moods. Most animals these days are in a badass mood. They don't like the way they've been interacted with. They don't like the way their environment has been affected. Please don't tell me they're just gentle. Damn, a coyote pulled you. So I was over in, it's kind of near Colorado Springs. It's by Manitou Springs. It's high up. It's hella high up. It looks like you could touch the clouds. So we were dry camping, primitive camping. We were in wilderness. We pulled off on the side of the road, found a spot to put a tent. We were in wilderness. And it just so happened that our tent had a little area in the front that's sectioned off. It's like a little patio entrance area. It's not a stand-up tent. You got to crawl in. And we put our pit bull there, our bully pit. She was in her crate in there. The coyotes went up to our tent at night, trying to entice her to come out. Fuck that shit. And she was just looking at the tent wall like, like, no, girl, don't go out there, girl. It was a whole family. It was a whole family. You could hear them right outside the tent. Like, no way. So, okay, it's if you're in Colorado Springs, thank you, baby. I love that. Can you do it? So if you're in Colorado Springs and you're heading towards Manitou Springs, I think you pass it. It's a city in the clouds, I believe it's called. City in the Clouds. I believe that's what it's called. It is hella high up, and there's like nothing. Not even internet. Not even internet. So, yeah, I think it's dark enough to go in. Do you want to go in or you still want to stay out here? Which one? You want to stay out here? Really? Why? You can talk. Why do you want to stay out here?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we can stay out here for 5 more minutes, but I got to go run some errands. High five, dude. You want to show them how we... I love you. Like, high five. He goes, oh. Okay, I love you. I love you. I have actual ravens that used to haunt me and follow me, and I'm in a building in the suburbs. I was the only one freaking out. Why are there ravens in the suburbs? Everywhere I go, even in New York City, New York, there were hawks that kept circling above me. Like, is that normal? Is that normal? Yeah. You tired now? Yeah, you bored?
I always do yawns in the day, in the night.
They say when you yawn, it's because you don't have enough oxygen. You're shallow breathing. So you should like, just like that.
I just sucked in some.
He goes, I just sucked in some snot. Let's go in. All right, guys. Do you want to ask me any last thing? Thoughts on sun gazing? If you do it at the wrong time of the day, you'll burn your retina. You'll burn it. You have to do it at the early morning or as the sun is starting to set. Sun gazing is an amazing practice. A lot of people don't realize this, but you're basically a solar cell. You're a solar cell, and you need to charge your spiritual battery. You do that through the sun. When you use a lot of sunblock, when you cover your skin a lot, not only do you develop a vitamin D deficiency, you actually deplete your spiritual batteries too. Okay. Not sun gazing, but clouds almost always turns into dragons and angels in front of me. Oh, that's so awesome. They do that for me too sometimes. Depends on what mood I'm in. Thoughts on manifesting someone into your life. Don't do it. That's my true, genuine thought. Don't do it. Just allow your life to happen. When you try and seek other people to come into your life, especially when they have those titles, that ends up turning into a really fucked up situation. Sorry, baby, I have potty mouth. I'm a bad word sayer. I'm so sorry. I speak passionately. Yeah. This girl used black magic on trying to manifest you. Exactly. Let people have free will. For me personally, and this is just a very personal thing, when people try and force their will upon me, that creates such a profound rebellion within me. I will never forgive you. I'm not advanced enough. I'm not developed enough. I'm not evolved enough as a soul to forgive that kind of shit.
Bye.
Sorry, baby. That's the very reason I'm not into twin flame shit. You will not tell me where I need to be, who I need to be there with. The moment you begin doing that, I don't care what your title is, I will not forgive you, ever. You will be permanently removed from my life. If you can't love me the way I love you, I will continue loving you silently from afar forever. Forever. I don't care how much it hurts. It's not about ego, it's about self-love. So anytime you come up, I will love myself enough to make sure you stay away forever. That's just how I am. So I gotta get going, guys. It's super dark in here.
Bye.
Let's see. Yep, don't interfere. What are these?
FTTV.
Did you drop these on the floor?
They actually, sometimes they drop.
It's like, don't eat 'em. Okay, I gotta go. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Say it again one time.
Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe and, hit that bell and thumbs up the video. And leave a comment below.
You heard him? Subscribe. Let's say it again. Say it loud.
Subscribe and hit that bell and like this video and leave a comment below. And buy the merch.
Buy the merch. He's my marketing guru. Mommy, you need more merch. That's my Taurus. Subscribe, hit that bell, like the video, leave a comment below, and buy that merch. Love you. Love you. All right, bye, guys.